the first cutter that I'm going to show you. Now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's 2 curls out of the 1 potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the 2 colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat 'em. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in 2. Serve them on the half shell, just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way, and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this. Drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast. Why, they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season, when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just hit it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now, here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now that can be used for sardine cans, square cans or round cans, exactly the same way. Now this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven. Catch a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness, every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick, drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it, makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating... Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's two curls out of the one potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the two colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. On my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat them. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in two. Serve them on the half shell, just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way, and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this. Drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast while they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other, cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese.
Hello, everyone. It's just redoing my hair because it was an absolute mess after doing dishes. How is everyone tonight? We got a sort of relaxy evening tonight. Gonna be doing caramelized onion soup, not French onion soup. Nope, no soggy croutons here tonight. We're gonna make up another batch of ranch because I went to the farmer's market today. Got all sorts of veggies. Got a whole bunch of salad greens too that we need to use up. And so I threw that on there real quick. Let's get some music going. And I, of course, don't have it set up. There we go. So how is everyone today? What's new? What's happening? So we got a couple people joining in the stream readers early. That's awesome. Two last dishes here. Clean up our kitchen shears and actually there's 3 more dishes in the sink, but we're not going to talk about those. Hey Tahiti lady, let's know. Welcome in. So you got some onions, and these are the sweeter ones of a yellow onion. They had both sweet and regular yellow onions. I went with the sweet ones, not because I really cared whether they were sweet or the other ones. They were certainly larger, and so it makes it a little easier to chop them up since we're doing a bunch of them. They were the same price too, so I'm gonna toss this up. Be right back. Close the bedroom door so we don't have to worry about the smoke alarm either. Not that I don't think we're getting really smoky tonight. You've been climbing that ladder pretty quick there. It's all those word games. Sure. I don't really have a recipe. But I'll post something in Discord. Why not? Actually, I should check if I even have stock defrosted. I don't think I do. Oh, that should be fun. Let's do that in midstream. Or pull some stock out here. I have to get into my big old chest freezer here off to the side. Once I figure places to hide all the stuff that I've got resting on top of there. Like that stuff. And masks I'm not currently using. Masks I'm not currently using. Masks I'm not using. I'm still wearing masks when I go out, don't get me wrong. But those are the ones that I haven't been using. Alright, chicken stock. We got chicken stock now. What else we got in here for next month? We're down to belly, 1/4 of the 4 shoulder pieces, and some small assorted odds and ends here. I got another hock to go with before we finish off that pig. Maybe should have gone with just a half hog instead of a whole one when I butchered that in June, because we're basically at the end of the life for those. My bay leaf collection. Sorry, I can't see chat if anyone's making fun of me. My mess at home. There we go. There we go. So we got some chicken stock out there. Get that defrosting. I gotta clean my stove. I was so far behind today. I've been slacking lately. I haven't been ready for streams in the last like 2 weeks here. I start on time, but if we're going to be cooking something like caramelized onions, it's good to get all that oil and miscellaneous stuff off the top. Even if we're replacing it with a little alcohol, the alcohol will burn off quick. Alright, it's at least a little nicer. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Defrost our stock up here. Just slicing the bag open, seeing if I can just tear that open. Oh, how convenient. Fits nice in the pan. Nice, Bun Buns. Welcome in. How you doing tonight? That burn from last week's almost already completely healed. Oops. There we go. Oh, you're all tilted again on me. Yeah, that's a little better. And turn the heat on the stock back there. Hopefully that'll defrost quickly for us. You don't want to put that in there like a puck with our onions. But it'll take us a minute to get our onions caramelizing anyways. Oh, hush. No, I grabbed chicken stock. I'm actually out of pork stock. I need to make some more, but I don't have any more pork bones. Gonna be doing chicken stock here on the 28th, start to finish. What type of rice you making? What are you having for dinner tonight? You usually have to space out for a little while. What's on your plate for tonight? Veggie chili rice. Is there beans in your chili rice? Is there meat in your chili rice? I don't know. I mean, people are serious about their definition of chili. I don't know why when we abuse so many other words. Now, chili rice, is that going to be like Cincinnati chili style, where you're pouring your chili over rice instead of noodles? Or beans and veggies? It's a good time. And cut that little bit of probably mold out of that piece of onion there. Mayo on the side. That's an odd one. I don't know that I've seen mayo in chili myself. Certainly seen sour cream. I missed the Hawaii part. Am I forgetting anything here? I think we're okay. We're not going to do any garlic with our sip. We're just going to do onions. Sort of tempted to wait on cutting the onions until we get everyone coming in here. It's sort of early. Why don't we start off with our mayo making here for salad dressing tonight, since I'm making more ranch. And I actually bought some dill, so we're gonna do like real ranch. Well, it's still not gonna be definition ranch, but it's gonna be close this time. Oh, we got some eggs already. Egg yolks already. How handy is that? I'll just use all of them. We'll have a really egg yolky salad dressing tonight. Oh, hey, that's sort of convenient. Onions just hold it up for me. We're going to need a little olive oil. We're going to need a little cheap oil. Use up the last of that guy. We'll probably need some more. Just start small. That's nicely melted. We can turn the heat off of that for now. Battle already. Time just flies when you're streaming. It's been 30 minutes already since I started my stream today. Well, I mean, granted, I know there's probably a 10-minute starting screen there, but do our 1-minute ad. I'm not adding any more oil, I'm just making sure this is all mixed in. And I'm gonna go grab my water glass real quick while we're waiting on that timer. And battle time. Victory. Edgy Hercules taking all those kills, getting all those chests. And I guess I helped out with the assists there. Tahiti Lady and Edgy Hercules with the rewards. Congrats. Let's see. We go up top with a question mark. I think we go for the top route. Oh, we still have to hit up this one either way. So this one's actually going to give us an extra battle up here. Let's go the top route. Figure out how that'll work. And we'll run that battle in 30 minutes or so. We'll go back to making mayo. That was a little excessive on the oil. I think we're good though. All those egg yolks, it's going to be pretty hard for me to, famous last words, going to be pretty hard for me to break this one. There's so much fat that the other fat just fits right in. Not even sure what that one is. A Battis? Giblets. What language is it? It doesn't even say. Maybe... doesn't say. We are starting to thicken up a little bit here now. Don't plan for tonight's stream to be anywhere near as long as Wednesday's was. I was streaming until like almost 9 o'clock here, I think, last Wednesday. Parchment, yeah. I just bought more parchment to realize that I had a backup of parchment. So I guess I got a new backup. Yeah, but does it say what language wherever you look that up? More curious what language it's from than... Because the definition is pretty self-explanatory, but I sort of think of that already having a word in most languages. I'd be... almost want to guess that it's English, because we like to make multiple words for things. Or steal them from multiple languages. Let's do a little more olive oil. Then we'll call it there on the mayo. Not even going to thin it out with any water this time. French for limbs. That makes that. Set that aside. We'll put away our oils. So you got anything left? Oh, we do. We'll whisk that into... Oh. Yeah, we'll whisk that in too eventually. We'll leave it for just now. We're gonna go back to onions. Now that we got a few more people in. Checking the of them that need coring. New music, I do find myself moving a little bit quicker and jiving with it a little bit versus previous music. Not necessarily going faster, but I'm maybe doing movements faster, that sort of a thing. Still in no rush. This is another great reason to have a big cutting board, or proper size cutting board in my mind. I mean, I barely got room to operate here. I'm so horrible at the game, too, that I have such a hard time trying to guess them even when I know most of the words. Or at least, like, 60% of them. Which is most, but certainly not all. I slipped there once, that's okay. I was thinking it started with an A. That one definitely sounds like it's French. Phonetically, in my mind. That's what I thought it was. I was a little confused if it was or not, because I thought it was a little closer to mustard in spelling than that. I thought there was at least still an I in there. I don't know how that gets it closer to mustard, but I thought there was an I in there. There you go. So we got some onions. Can't use my big cast iron because that's still got rice in it. So we're gonna jam this into that guy there to start cooking them. We need a hot pan first too. added the third cam back on. Why can't you see what I'm doing over there? There we go. Come on, Stream Deck. Figure your stuff out. Because you're working on the other ones here too. Make sure I didn't... Yeah, it didn't do it on any of these. Add a healthy dose of salt. And a little more. Don't know if it's the right one unless you try. Oh, I'm almost out of filtered water. Only the finest Brita butter. Calico. No. Basilico? Something like that. Part of the reason why I was a little late getting going here today was because I also had refrigerator clean out day. Actually, I need to clean the refrigerator now that I've cleaned it out. But I don't know if they use in there for basilico. I don't even know if that's the... It's just what popped in my head. Oh. We had a repeat last stream too, didn't we? Yeah, it's the same one. Huh. Wonder if it's going through my whole dictionary of words there. I mean, you've guessed quite a few of them. Is that only like the second one you've seen repeated? I mean, I guess it could be odds if that's the case, but if we keep getting repeats, we may have to change things up here. Well, there's nothing... well, there's also nothing like in the script that would... unless it's something that Mix It Up bot itself is messing up. There's nothing I've done that would cause that. So as these cook, I'm adding more onions in the pan, obviously. if I was going with my big stainless bowl that I used for frying on Wednesday, or the cast iron pot that I used for making bread. Maybe could have thrown these all in there at once and sort of slowly played games with them. But I think this will actually work out a little bit better. Maybe a little quicker though. Gotta remember to check out the VOD tonight. Make sure this music isn't. Because I get 1 year of music, so I don't know if it's just right. Give that a little tilt here. Center that a little better. Bottle. 1 minute ad. Not losing a lot of moisture from these. They're used to there being like some liquid going on. It's alright though. It'll still be delicious. See how sweet these onions are. Definitely not a white onion though. They are mighty sweet. But they definitely got that onion bite to them too in the aftertaste. Okay. Nice. tank's just taking them to shreds. Tahiti's lady's getting the credits for those kills, though. We lost our healer. Victory. Tahiti lady with the kills. I get the assists. Tahiti lady and Edgy Hercules with the rewards. Congrats on the gold. And we'll see that in another 30 minutes. Turn the heat down a bit here, since this pan is more than capable of holding enough heat to cook these properly. I'm going to add some plain water at this point. Yeah, let's use water. Water. I'm low on the filtered stuff. Just to make sure we get everything from sticking on the pan, and the moisture helps cook the onions without searing them. So you can see how we have some cooked onions that are looking decent, but we've also got some that are certainly still white and not cooked through. And we want pretty much all of them cooked completely down to dark, jammy, soft onions. I'm going to add some more in there now. Now here's the question. We still got those two other scoops there, or at least one scoop, maybe two. You think they're all going to fit in that pan? Looks like it's going to be a tight fit to me. He says while smirking. Looking up that one too. It's a macaroni dish. It's a German macaroni dish. Word didn't strike me as German either. Add a bit more water in there. Okay, so I just caught on to this, Tahiti lady. You have scramble hotkey, don't you? You have exclamation mark scrambled hotkey, don't you? While we're here and I'm thinking of it. No hotkey? Okay. It just made it sound like your last message there had me thinking that. Point out to everyone here in the Discord, we do have a new vote up there. I forgot and didn't put it up during the stream here on Wednesday. Did it after the stream. So we're doing vote between Greek seasoning or wild rice for next Wednesday's stream. And as usual, have to be used for dinner and dessert. So guess we're on a seasoning kick here with the almost everything bagel seasoning, the Tony Creole seasoning last week. But either one of those is a little bit of a... What do you do for dessert with those? Could do either one of those easily for savory side. Both of those are going to be a little bit of a stretch for dessert. I almost forgot to buy onions today. They weren't... I don't think they were at the farmer's market earlier. Either that or I forgot when I was at the farmer's market and I was on the way back and I was like, I need onions. I think if I saw them, I would have bought them. Then again, I got my grab-and-go box again. So you got a bunch of goodies here I need to use in the next week here. Or it'll probably last me 2 weeks, but got some beautiful radishes. You guys can't see that. Some beautiful radishes. Throw some of those in the salad. You got some nice carrots down there at the bottom. I always love this farm's carrots. It's the first of their season. Got a little, maybe the last of their arugula that they got going. You got some beautiful mesclun mix. And that'll probably last me a while. Like, I've gotten their mesclun mix before and had it last 2 weeks and still look good at 2 weeks. Farmers Market produce is just so much better. Got the first of their asparagus in here, so we'll have to do some asparagus here soon. Maybe we can do asparagus tonight. I don't really have plans for it, but some big boys, but they're tender too. So they're going to be, it's not like the ones you get at the supermarket and they're going to be woody all the way up. They cut them where they're tender pretty well. So I'm maybe like only going to cut off like that on that guy. Those are some patties. We got some kohlrabi. We'll throw some of that in the salad, I think. Got a couple of shallots that don't really need to be in the fridge. You got some shallots for the future. Actually, we'll throw those with the other onions and garlic and ginger on top of the sink. Or on top of the... another one of those guys hidden in there. And we got a head of cabbage, too. Pointy little guy. Like a... something out of an SNL skit or something. But that's the veggies and goodies that we've got here. We might as well leave the salad greens out. We're going to use some of those. We're going to use our... we'll grab a couple of these radishes for dinner tonight. Actually, and I want to save those greens. Steal a couple of carrots. We'll chop up some of the kohlrabi for in there too, just to use that up. It's a root veggie. You can use it for salads. You can use it for cooking. All sorts of opportunities there. I think we're going to skip the cabbage for tonight. We're going to need those a little bit later. Make sure we're not cooking too fast here. We got enough water here that we should be okay. A little bit of stickage, but throw the last of these in there too. Yeah, sort of a simple dinner tonight, Tahiti lady. Just the onion soup and some salad. Hey, those fit in there. What do you know? Let's take a second and clean up this other stuff too. But we're going to need the whisk again. I don't know why I put that back over here. But we can get rid of the egg cup. I just realized this could be a vegetarian dinner. Not, well, the salad dressing won't be, but polentus. I don't think that one comes plural. Let's get that a little bit more wash. You're usually pretty good about that, but that's got some ground on stuff. Need a bowl for our salad. I think we're going to save the rest of this for future. Small guy I can use? No, I got nothing but big guys tonight. Used all the small guys. PST Leon. How's everyone doing? Great carrots. So much better than supermarket carrots. They're just so sweet. Thanks, Fun Buns. IFSCEESAR. Fricassee. How did I not know that one after Wednesday? That fricassee was great the day after. It was the day of. But yesterday as leftovers, oh, it was so good. I didn't even go back to the rice yet. So, still got plenty of rice here to go with our soup too. Is that one sliced? I thought I sliced through that one. Yeah, I did slice that one. Yeah, it's more of a French onion thing. I was sort of kidding with the dinner command. I honestly have no bread in the house to make croutons. And I don't really have any Gruyere or any decent cheese to be melting over the top either. That's a good time too. Especially you get a really nice crouton. I guess I could do like a polenta crouton if I wanted to spend an extra 30 minutes to an hour making it. It'll probably take me 30 minutes to make the polenta. I have to kill it, cool it, and then grill it. No, I'm actually going to do a very similar to a French onion soup, although I sold this all the time in the past as caramelized onion. And it's going to be these guys cooked down until they're properly cooked, which they're still going to take a little while to cool down, cook down. And then we're going to add a bit of apple brandy. But you want some apple jack, some apple brandy, some sort of deliciousness in there. Add a little contrast to those onions. Because otherwise we just got onions in stock. And so we'll do these guys until they're nice and jammy. We'll continue adding water to these as they reduce so that we don't burn them. They stick in a little too much as it is. If you got a non-stick pan, this is probably a decent job for it, but number one choice for me probably would have been that stainless steel. Still dirty from Wednesday. But the soup themselves are going to be basically the same. You might see a little pork stock in French onion, but we're going to go chicken stock only. Those onions are looking nice. They're not there yet, though. They're going to cook down quite a bit more. But We're working on it. I'm gonna actually turn that down just a slight bit more. Still, it's like barely at the level that'll hold a boil now. Give you an idea of what temperature this. I mean, you can never really. I mean, one stove's medium high is another stove's medium low. It's. Yeah, that one, you get rid of the seasoning in the pan. Yeah, some people love the flavor they get off of that. Or your I don't know if there is a proper term for it when it comes to like American or European cast iron. I know with woks it's called the wok hay, like the grain, the plant. Add all this deliciousness into our salad mix. We're gonna throw anything. Oh, almonds. We still got my nuts. So I add some blanched almonds in there, since I'm trying to use these up now. We'll switch to our dressing once again. We got our mayo started here. Whisking that last of that oil in there. And grab some pickles here. Purchased pickles, not homemade pickles. I've used this brand a couple of times. It's one of the few brands that I don't mind hiding because I think they're local and they're pretty damn good. We're gonna add some pickles into our dressing. Probably not traditional for duck mayo. Can't say that I have. I actually just commented on someone on Twitter about duck eggs. And, yeah, duck eggs, I love the duck yolks, which would be great for making our mayo. But egg whites, duck egg whites are just, ugh. I don't know if that's enough for what we want or not. I think that's probably good, though. But yeah. These things are outrageous. They're amazingly good. Cute little square containers. But no, I can't say that I've had duck mayo before. I'll probably end up getting some duck eggs here when it gets to being around that time. It's a little early for most people to have duck eggs right now. Actually, I don't know for sure. Because I know in chickens, they don't tend to lay a lot of eggs in wintertime when it's cold, unless they're living somewhere where they're heated. It gets too cold and they just don't want to do their stuff. I would assume it's the same for ducks, but I don't know for sure. 1 minute ad for our battle. Nice, Tahiti lady. Gotta stay hydrated, everyone. This certainly isn't blues or funk. Well, it's got a little funk to it, but most of the songs I picked are either bluesy or funky. Let's do our battle. Making quick work of them. That was an easy one, guys. Victory. Edgy with the kills. Tahiti lady with the assists. Emerald Miner with the rewards. Welcome in. Ooh, goodies for me. Let's see how I'm doing over here on the quests. It's giving me a notice like I didn't win anything. Tank over here. As usual with this one, I'll block out the center here, because we're not walking over that. You're going to have to go around it. Hey, Fun Buns, if you try and do this recipe sometime, I suggest you skip this whole caramelizing the onion stuff. It just... I'm just doing that because I'm streaming. It's just going to take longer. You can do this just fine with raw onions. Actually, I do want to put a little more pickle in there, I think. Hey, True Sensitivity. Welcome in. How you doing tonight? I like your name. It's a fun play on words. There we go. Yep, all sorts of onions tonight. Had these green onions for a minute here, so they're starting to show their age a little. Oh, come on, work with me. Green onions and shallots. Shallots are much thinner, much smaller, much finer. You'll typically find those in with the herbs at the store. Could be the same plant, but typically aren't. They're typically a chive plant. You can cut these young enough and small enough that they look like that, though. These are green onions, or you may see them sold as spring onions elsewhere. Around here, at least in the States, you typically find spring onions being more like small onions. Like, they'll have an actual bulb going with them. These are basically the same thing as scallions, too. I mean, they're all in the same family. You'll probably find... That's actually sort of one of the problems that I think is with how commercialized things are. Is you could have a green onion and have it look like a shallot, and you can have it look like a spring onion, and it'll be just as different between those three different things as just getting the same onion in a different variety. It's... Or like someone was saying the other day, you I've said it before too, but take a recipe and you move to a different part of the world and all those same ingredients are completely different ingredients. Even though they sold under the same name. Or translated under the same name. Like, Asian cultures, I can never remember which is which. I use all the green onions. But I know here in the States, it's typical for only people to use one part of the onion. And it's typical for Asian cultures to use the other half of it, probably the darker, greener half. Or in the case of when I was looking for spinach when I was in China, they grow their spinach to be like, you know, like kale-sized giant leaves. Versus most of ours being like ready to go in a salad size. I'm gonna go heavy on the herbage tonight. Partially because I'm using the green onion up, but... Went and stopped the music and then started again. Leo, I think if you've got nothing but like green onions in your home, that also worked great for this recipe. You can skip the traditional onions and just use green onions. You won't get bitter at all with the green in the hot oven. I mean, typically chlorophyll gets bitter, but these guys will be fine that way. I mean, you want your onion soup to look like, you know, like egg drop soup, don't you? Love the smell of dill. Don't necessarily... It gets overpowering for me. But the smell... Love the smell of dill. I could sit there and sniff dill all day long. Trying to think of the consequences of saying that publicly on the internet. Hopefully you're having a good day, Leo. Welcome in. Obviously doing caramelized onion soup today. We got those onions simmering away on the stove back there. Working on making a little salad dressing here. Love that smell. If I didn't have to deal with the rest of the dill plant, I'd probably throw dill in so many things. Just for that smell. I love dill with chicken. I never use it with chicken. Those lighter fish dishes. I need to make some dill bread at some point, too, so you guys can make all the dildo jokes. Just a little bit of dill in that dressing. Hey, Head Mama Bear. Glad you're doing well, Head Mama Bear. Yeah, I've heard all sorts of horror stories going on in Texas. Or at least seeing all sorts of interesting videos on the interwebs. Who was it? I think it was BuzzFeed that did a great video on everything. or at least great series of other people's videos. Getting too hot back here again. Should be paying a little more attention to this. You don't want these sticking as bad as this is. I'm not smelling any burntness, but getting it to stick to the pan like this is what you don't want. Do my best to get that all up. This pan was nice and smooth to start the stream. Add a little MSG in there. Add a touch more salt. I salted pretty heavy to start, but that was only in the first batch of onions. Muscadine. Grab our apple brandy out here, or like I was saying before, you use apple jack, you can use anything along that line. You don't want to pour especially high proof alcohols directly from the bottle into the hot pan. So we'll do it into a jigger first, off to the side. And there's a little too much liquid in there to probably get that to flame. But this should be enough. This should be high enough to. What is the proof on this? This stuff is like, it's bottled in bond, so it's got to be high. It's 50% alcohol, so yeah, that'll probably catch. We want that reduced down flavor in there. I can smell that too. All right, so we got our herbage in here. We actually need some parsley in here too. Where did I hide that parsley? Down here, I think? Yep. And go a little lighter on the parsley. Oh, we can add those in there too. We can use that for that too. I bought that for oatmeal. Well, if we do oatmeal, and if we don't do oatmeal, we got oatmeal on the list of things coming up here early next month. I'm gonna do oatmeal risotto. Though if you guys pick oatmeal, I might do oatmeal and change that. Oatmeal risotto and change that. I went through and did my menu planning for the rest of next month, and actually I did all of April too. General plan. So I know where I'm spending money and not. Hey, old marksman. Welcome in. Yep, we're doing onion soup. Doing a little salad dressing action here on the cutting board. Yeah, but we're not doing that. That would require me having bread and cheese. No cheese, no Gouda. That's also why I'm calling it caramelized onion soup and not calling it French onion. Work with me, leaves. I'll just ditch you if we want to be too much of a pain. See you, Tahiti lady. Maybe someone else will get a chance at that. Yeah, I'm not knowledgeable with that one either. What type of cheese is that? Well, that's certainly true of a lot of European cheeses. It figures that it's just named after where it's from. Thank you, Bun Buns. Yeah, I've been happy with the change up. Add some sour cream into our salad dressing here, since we're doing still not doing a traditional ranch, but we're a lot closer tonight with the dill in there than past salad dressings. So that's going to give us some of that same tang. Yeah, some of it's funky, some of it's bluesy. Most of it's bluesy. We got to put a little fun stuff in there, a little brighten it up here and there. Oh, and yeah, we're definitely putting some of these in there too. I bought these at the farmer's market too. We got wasabi greens, which these things are great. I haven't seen these anywhere other than the farmer's market, but they are literally like putting wasabi in your mouth. I mean, there's greenage to chew, but give you that same bite. Very cool stuff. But you were talking about the different cheeses, well, a specific one in Europe, but so many cheeses have been denied us and here in the US, whether it's... I forget what it was, but it was something political. And the US decided that it wanted to punish France. This was like maybe 10 years ago now. And they limited or established how many cheese mites could be in cheese. And it's like, well, how do you tell them how many cheese mites are in a block of cheese unless you cut the thing open in customs? And so it effectively just banned any cheese made with cheese mites from the US. And so several very awesome cheeses, like Mimolette, were instantly removed from our stores. And you can find Mimolette and a couple of them back in the stores now. But I think they're actually doing different products. It's not the same cheeses anymore because they're wiping out the cheese mites. Which, cheese mites are, I've talked about them before on stream before. They're a little disgusting. They're a little like fly larvae consuming the cheese. But it's been used for thousands of years. It's a sort of like proven technique. And in the case of Mimolette, they like consume the outsides of the cheese as it hardens and actually create a crust for the cheese. But if you find there's Italian cheeses where they eat it with the live larva in the cheese, and you'll never find that in the States, but it's all over Europe. And give us a little bit more of that tang in there. I'm going to add a little buttermilk powder too. These are getting really close. I'm having to stir them pretty often. Be careful because they're cooking down to basically sugar at this point. I think I'm going to turn this down even more. Well, that would certainly, yeah, bun buns, that certainly falls into the stuff that they're blocking here in the States. We gotta add some other seasoning into this. We're not gonna live with just a little buttermilk powder. In fact, I'm gonna cut the heat on those onions and just let them coast like that for the moment. Hit this up with a little onion powder action. A little white pepper. Where's my garlic powder? Very light in the garlic powder. Ooh, that was heavier than I wanted. It's garlic, I'll live with it. Little mustard powder. Favorite seasoning. I've never been a huge seasoning guy, and I don't use it a lot, but I'd probably say my favorite seasoning is cumin because of how much it can change a dish. Cumin, maybe, cumin's up there as interesting spices. Szechuan peppercorns are up there in interesting spices. And we'll do a dash of cayenne in here too. Need salt and pepper. MSG. Paprika's nice, especially, it's great for giving color to dishes. And it's also great if you got a smoked paprika. I typically keep smoked paprika. It's great for adding smoked flavor into dishes that you want to get a little hint of smokiness going on. And we did white pepper, so we don't need black pepper. There you go. There's our homemade not ranch of this batch. Because the last 3 dressings I made were not ranch too. 1 minute ad before our battle. So you guys are just joining in. This was originally 5 full-size onions, and we're down to this deliciousness. Sour cream and cornstarch at the end. I'd probably add the cornstarch earlier, but that's more of past training. Oh, you're just adding it. Oh, so you're just condensing the sour cream. Interesting. Victory. Tahiti lady stealing the kill. Had Mama Bear and Emerald Miner with the rewards. Well, let's see. We go top or bottom here, guys. You guys want Lizard Dude or you want... I don't know what that guy is. Let's see here. I think the real one is whether we're doing the... Let's do the bottom one. I don't think I've done this boss yet. Hungarians love their paprika. It's a discover as we go here, or we'll have more enemies as we go. I typically just start my guy off here in the corner for these. We can build up most of our forces here, but of course if things pop up, feel free to add elsewhere. Rogues will obviously go anywhere you want. We'll come back to that in 30 minutes. Let's give this a shot, see what this is like. Trying this the wrong way. Should always try dressing with the salad leaf. Because often salad leaves will both water things down, but they'll also be slightly bitter. And so you want to counteract that bitterness too. I think that needs a hint more salt. Look at that arugula's potent stuff. Give that a second shot here. Yeah, that's some good stuff. I think I'm still going to add a little acid in here. Just to lighten things up a little bit too. A little thinner than I expected, but not too bad. Maybe could have made a little bit more mayo, but... So we'll take our... I'm not going to dress the salad, but I'm going to mix up the rest of this salad and get these greens out of the way. We'll use some of these lovely arugulas, greens. Actually, I might give a couple of these a break in half here. See what we got here. It's still usable. It's just got the heavy stem on it. Nice. I'm a European mutt too. Got a little bit of everything in my blood. Even some French Canadian. Not big on breaking my greens up into tiny little bits, but you want them grabbable by a fork. We'll take out that stem. And then their salad mix, they put other things in their salad mix that are awesome in here too. Like there's usually some pea sprouts. Yeah, there's a pea sprout. And I also find... I'm forgetting the term of the lettuce term. This stuff, frisee. It's one of those greens that's just so much more potent out of farmers markets. It's like a different animal. Good stuff. Especially if you get it in wintertime. It's one of those greens that's just very peppery, very pronounced. Make a great accent. So we got our onions here cooked. Might as well add our chicken stock in there. We're going to add all of that in there, obviously, since we're making soup. And that's actually almost right about where I want it. I mean, I don't want a ton of liquid. But if you want more, you can add some water in with this. I mean, as it is, I typically concentrate my... Smelling gas here, I realized the flame wasn't burning. But I concentrate my stocks a bit so they don't take up a ton of space in my my freezer. And so I'm not worried about adding a little water to it if I wanted to bulk that up, but I think that's going to be fine just as. What do you guys think? You think that needs more water? And ladies, internet peoples. Sorry, I call everything guys. Well, that's pretty easy. I'm just going to dump it in a bowl. We'll give this a shot, see if this needs any seasoning, if we want to add anything else into this. See what it's like. I've got options for ladles. I've got this guy hidden up here. And I've got 3 other ones that I've got hidden back there. Give this a try and taste for seasoning. Oh, it definitely needs salt. Definitely needs salt. What is underneath the salad greens? We have some carrot, radish, kohlrabi, and some blanched almonds. Since I got those all kicking around in the fridge. And toss those in with everything else. They're not going to stay on top though. They're going to settle to the bottom until they have salad dressing to coerce them to stick this stuff. We'll throw some of those on the top. I'm going to steal a pea sprout. Forgot the music again. Now the real question is, what do I want to put this in? Because this is going to disappear in my dark blue bowls. My dark blue bowls are really the only thing for doing soup in my kitchen. I don't think I want to go. I think I'm going to go with this guy. It's going to be a little dark with the. It's what I got. But I'm not going to use a ladle. I'm going to use this guy. Or this spoon. Ooh, that's yummy. Salt greatly helped. We'll take some wasabi sprouts, put them on top as our garnish. Grab ourselves a photo. Alright, got one out. There we go. Used to taste it earlier. Let's finish up our salad here. We'll call that a wrap. Do a early night here, a little 2-hour stream. Make sure we get all those herbs and goodiness at the bottom. All those bits of pickle and all that. Yeah, I know, pickle's not... It's not ranch. Ranch doesn't have pickles. Let's be honest, the salad's really dinner tonight. That onion soup is going to be damn tasty, but it's almost like the side to this salad. We're definitely stealing that pizza. The farm did not grow this, by the way. That's the other thing about farmers markets. I love that farm. They do a lot of great produce. There's no way they're growing that. Radicchio and endive, or endive, or however you want to pronounce it, are specialty chicories that typically require you to grow the chicory plant and then harvest it early and cutting it at the base, and then it will grow those tight, small endive or endive or radicchio in this case, tight ones, and they actually grow them in darkness for the light white green ones. There's only a couple producers in the States. I don't know if there's even two of them in the States. It used to be that there's only one here in California and one in France doing basically all of the endive or endive that you could find. Do a little fresh cracked pepper on top of our salad. Awesome. Okay. So let's see. We got another 12 minutes on our battle. I think we're going to call it a night, and I'll run that last battle here after the stream. Let's see who we can give a raid to. Why don't we go hang out with Chef the Party? He's doing some pork up tonight. He's doing something with eggplant, I think, here too. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I know tonight was a little bit quick, a little fun dinner. I'm happy with the way the onion soup turned out. I think that's going to be delicious. Salad's going to be awesome as well. Going to be back here on Sunday doing sticky buns. Going to be doing almost cinnamon rolls. Going to be trying a new recipe out that I haven't done before. It's going to be like doing cinnamon rolls, but using biscuit dough. I think they're called butter rolls. But doing a biscuit-like dough that's rolled and with butter. So that should be fun. I'll be doing something for dinner then too. And we do have the vote going on right now for either Greek seasoning or oatmeal. Or is it oatmeal that we got our second one? But that vote is up in Discord. Please go and give your votes for that. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you all have a great night. Bye-bye.
It's quiet. Because Holly can't seem to keep anything clean with coffee nowadays. It's just strange. Like she makes herself a coffee over here, and somehow coffee grounds are over here. Like I come home from like our big long walk with Wyatt, and I walk in the door and there's like literally like coffee beans across the kitchen. And I'm like,